Mike Edwards here again at Model Rail 2020 with the Scottish Rail Study Group fabulous Alloa layout. Mike, where do you start? I don't know. How long have we got? This is immense. Yes. Tell me what's special about it.
Well, first of all, it was probably a long time in the making and was built with great care and after a great deal of investigation and research. And some of the guys got a lot of fun out of actually, researching it rather than just diving in and building something. The other thing was it's an actual location and it's very true to Alloa in the late 50s, early 60s. And people who come to see it think it brings back a lot of memories. We've had a lot of feedback of people saying maybe that's not quite right or maybe that's not, we've adjusted it. Trying to get it absolutely right from a history point of view.
And it's double low gauge, it's 4mm, it's and you beat me to it, it's pretty much true to an exact location.
Yes, that's right. I mean that was what gave it interest for us. Some people like to do a fantasy thing. Our desire was to have something that was true and we had something to follow, a satisfaction out of getting it just right.
There can't be very much off the shelf here. This has to be track included, yep. Scratch built.
Most of it is speciality stuff actually. The track, for instance, is SMP, the points are hand built, most of the locomotives are kit built, some are ready to run, but all the rolling stock has been weathered, changed to look natural and represent the condition that it was in, appropriate to the time.
What I like about layouts, what attracts me is if you'd imagine a still photograph, a 6x8 still or whatever, and you just close your eyes off and look at one particular area. And here, you could be here for three or 4 days looking at every little corner of detail, and it is magical.
That's right. Well, if you can judge it by the people who come along, some people will come to a layout and they'll look at it and then move on. But I've noticed that we've all noticed that people spend some time here looking at it and taking it in and moving to another part and seeing it from another angle. So it's very satisfying to see people having an appreciation of it.
Talk us through, you've got, obviously industrial works, a factory or something at that end, you've got, talk us through the obviously Alloa station, but what else?
Right, well, if I can turn around here, there's the brewery there to the left with the
Alloa Brewery, of course.
Alloa Brewery, the loco shed. You've got the line coming in from the what we call the Devon Valley line, which comes, if you like, from Perth through Dollar. Then as we move through, we've got Alloa Station, and you can see over there, just up there is the tunnel through to Alloa Harbour, and then the main line, which on our layout curves round. In reality it's straight ahead, but we have to get things into the space.
For people of our generation, if I could put it like that, this period is magical because I see a diesel rail car over there. Yes, I'm sure you've got a couple of Type 2s here and there, but it's mostly the steam engines.
It's predominantly steam. It is predominantly steam, and that is mainly true to life. But the guys here, vintage, said, well, let's err on the side of steam rather than diesel.
And it was okay. Yeah, it's weathered. It's quite, it's quite gritty in the proper sense.
Yes.
From a coloured point of view, but it was the golden era really of Scottish railways.
I think so. I mean, it's kind of this generation thing. We're now at the generation where people who are into model railways, they're probably getting to the end of the real steam enthusiasts. The people who are steam enthusiasts are really looking back in a history that they didn't know. So we're maybe the last of that generation. Well, I hope it's nice and nostalgic.
I hope not. I don't think you're correct. But it is an amazing layout. The signals. The other thing I meant to say was the road vehicles. I think that's a measure of a great layout. Is not just buses necessarily, but the road vehicles that are on show, and obviously they don't move.
Yeah, there are actually. If you look around the layout, you see lots of little, I suppose you call it cameo scenarios. You've got the bowling green down here.
I love the bowling green.
You've got scrap cars somewhere. You've got somebody's bicycle propped up there. Over here, you've got round the other side the brewery. There are painters at work, painting the wall. and just lots of little things that give it life, and down to the observation of the various members saying, that looks good, or I think we can do this, and it's I'll say it myself, it's worked very well.
It certainly has. Mike, thank you very much indeed for showing us around Alloa, a remarkable layout. And if you come to the exhibition over the weekend, which after seeing this you surely will, come and see Alloa.